So make sure when you're selling people, you're not just saying, yeah, I'll do this. No. I'm going to create a beautiful oasis or whatever terminology you use to create a warm, inviting, beautiful environment within your living quarters or something like that. Position it like that. Talk about the outcome, the feeling, the experience of your services. Don't just lead with the flat services. Does that make sense?
Welcome back to Real Business Roundtable. Thank you so much for joining us today. Please like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode and gain some value out of it. We're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to have someone call in, and this person is someone who recently, or actually, runs a business that they've been running for a couple of years, and they're going to ask us some questions, and we're going to ask them some questions, and we're going to give them almost like a blueprint to growing their business.
It's going to be a real business consultation live.
So he owns a landscaping company.
Okay.
He's been running it for a couple of years. He's doing pretty well. He has some goals of purchasing things to help him be more efficient. And we're just gonna, we're gonna figure out where he's at right now and position him to grow.
Okay.
Hello.
Hey, Jared, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. So I just want to make sure that you can hear us both well, but we are recording now. We can chop it up a little bit, so I'm not too worried. If you want anything chopped out, just let us know. But so I want to introduce you to Andy real quick.
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you, man?
Good. I heard that you have a landscaping business and you're interested in getting some advice.
Yeah, I would love the help, actually.
Yeah.
Or just love the advice.
Yeah. So, real quick, can you give us just a quick rundown of your business, where you're at right now, and then share your goals?
So my business right now is more of I want to say residential and commercial landscaping, as in I do mowing, mulching, as in I'm trying to think of other, I guess, tasks that we do. Like we're trying to convert to hardscaping, I guess, if that's a thing we would really want to do in the future.
That's high ticket.
Which is more like paving and reconstructing walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's high ticket.
I'm very familiar.
Then right now we actually average about $7,500 a month and $90K a year, and I have 3 employees.
Okay, awesome.
All right, so $7,500 a month, and how much? You said $90K a year?
Yeah, I average $90K a year.
Okay, awesome.
So you have 3. Oh, hold on one second. I'm just doing a quick health assessment. So you said you got 3 full-time employees?
Yeah. One, I guess 2 full-time employees, 1 part-time.
Are you making any margins right now, like any profit?
Not really that much for me.
Okay, so just the first thing, and remember, anything I'm talking about, I just want you to take it as like learning.
Mm-hmm.
Always in business, typically, you want to see about $100,000 in revenue per full-time employee. So if you do $1 million, you should have about approximately 10 full-time employees. So is there a reason why you have the 2? You can't operate without them, or are you not an operating owner? You don't go out in the field and do the work?
No, I do go out in the field. I actually pay myself as an employee.
Oh, okay. So you're one of them.
Yeah, I am one of the full-time
employees. That puts you in a okay, all right. So that puts you in a better spot. So you said you have, so technically, you have, aside from yourself, you have 1 full-time employee and 1 part-time.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So what we need to do is we need to try to get you to, your first milestone should be, hey, let me double my sales, or let's get to $250,000.
So that brings me to the next question. Are you the one who is doing most of the sales? I know we talked briefly before. I kind of give Andy a little bit of a rundown on, what you're doing digitally, but are you the one who's driving the sales, and how are you doing that?
Yeah, so I'm doing mainly just Facebook promoting and Nextdoor. It's an app, I guess, that a lot of people use locally
Yeah.
in my area. So I was trying to mainly just promote as many pictures, before and after photos, and then just really get my name out there and spread by voice.
Awesome. What kind of Facebook ad spend are you running right now?
So I just use their promotional, like website
Boosting?
and stuff like that.
What? Okay, so what's the daily budget you're putting in for the boost?
Probably about $250 for the week I use.
$250?
Yeah.
$250 a week.
Yeah.
Okay. And then so what is like, has there been anything that has held you back from having a website and having multiple platforms?
Yeah, I really want to go down through the Google route and try and like open up through, I guess but there's a lot of like costly fees and stuff through Google, and I just didn't know if it would be worth it to advance in that direction.
Yeah.
So this can be looked at in different sections, and I just want to stress that right now we're just talking about tactics, and ultimately, like an umbrella, everything that falls under the umbrella is considered a tactic. You want to look at everything that you're doing is amongst a strategy, and the strategy is made up of different tactics. So right now we're talking about Google ads. Now you did mention that it is costly, but one thing to look at, and I would recommend doing, is investing in some Google ads temporarily, or you can do it long term. I'm just saying, for quick results, quick revenue in the door, invest in your Google ads, but look at your cost per acquisition. So for example, if you're spending, let's say $100 a day on Google ads, but you're bringing in $10,000 a month in new revenue, then it's totally worth it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and you want to break down, okay, if you spent $3,000 a month on Google ads, but you're bringing in $10,000 a new business a month, and then you want to factor in, okay, what are your actual costs to run the business, and you can figure out profitability and stuff like that. But you want to take things, if to go to the next step, you have to take those steps to go there. Does that make sense?
A lot of the things that I'm noticing, it could be helped, or you could reach those next goals, and a lot of it comes down to what we talk about a lot in sales. So are there other forms of selling that you're doing? Are you doing door to door? Are you yourself out there, or do you have an employee who's out there, doing sales, connecting with people, that sort of stuff?
Yeah, so every time I go out to a job site, I always ask the neighbor or like the surrounding houses around if they need anything, and I always leave business cards like for the client that I'm working with at the time to pass out as for like voices and stuff like that.
What about door hangers?
I actually have not invested in door hangers yet, but I would like to.
Yeah, that would be good. I think that the next, like, what you should definitely focus. So how much, if you're an employee within the business, how much time are you spending on working, and how much time are you spending on the actual growth aspect, which is sales and, building up on digital and stuff like that?
So I probably spend at least 8 hours a day working with I want to say just on the job, and then I take at least an hour out of my time or 2 hours to like just go walk around the residential area, and then I also like spend an hour on the computer. So that's where the 2 hours are. Okay.
I think that you should definitely top thought is that part-time employee, if they're not a necessity when it comes to being efficient and getting a job done that's already booked, you should have them on a commission basis, go out and do some door-to-door sales. I think that would be extremely valuable in not only, bringing in sales, but also getting your name out there. And at the same time as doing that, also start working on building up your digital. So right now you're on Facebook. That's great for the beginning. But now you're at a point where you're reaching those 6 figures. You want to build a website, and it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't at all, but you need to build that website so that you can kind of use that as a trajectory towards spending more ads to building up your business. I think that those two are something that you should definitely focus on. Do you agree? Or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I want you to look at your business as, how can I make this as streamlined as possible to reach your growth goals? So you mentioned something about having a website or not having a website. I'm assuming you don't have a website yet.
Yeah, I don't have a Google website at all.
Do you Do you have a Google My Business page?
I have a page, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
I just haven't like transitioned it into the website yet.
Okay, so I would recommend bare bones minimum. You want to look at having a website, make sure it's properly hosted, make sure you have the right security in place. Either try to research what keywords. So there are tools on Google where you can research something called search volume, where you can identify how many people are searching specific terms. So if you want to say lawn mowing, where is he from?
He's from Ohio. Wait, where are you from again?
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, so whatever part of Ohio you're in, you can say lawn mowing, lawn care, all the terms that describe your business. And you can identify how many people are actually searching these terms to justify making the investment on Google. But there's multiple pieces. So your website it's like your home base. It's where you bring people, it's where you convey a message, it's where you try to convert people to get people to contact you. The next thing that you need to look at is the actual visibility of your business. You want to be seen on social media. You want to be found on search engines.
This is the easy part. I just want to build off that a little bit. You only have a Facebook right now. Honestly, the first thing you should do today is make sure that your handles are good, and you should go and get an Instagram page, a TikTok page. You should go and build up these social platforms, because that is going to be another organic driving factor to your website. So that should be definitely something that you should do.
You could do like hashtag lawn care Ohio or something like that. Put proper hashtags on your Instagram posts to try to get some organic eyeballs. TikTok can be huge for that, just to get a lot of.
Yeah, one thing that is really big is on TikTok and Instagram and even Facebook, people will take videos of photos or videos of before and after. You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
So what I would recommend you do is take some extra time out of your day. Once you have those platforms set up, take some time out of your day when you're working and take some videos, make a montage. It's honestly fun, creating the content around something that you really truly enjoy and that you monetize it's fun. I personally think it is. And so you need to take that content and post it everywhere on those social platforms while you're building your website. That's definitely a big thing that you should do, just to kind of build more platforms around your brand, to build that brand.
All right, I agree. That sounds amazing.
And then you were talking about website stuff.
So I want you to think about how can you build a system to generate leads and generate opportunities.
Yeah.
I would say, yes, build that website, create landing pages that cater to the specific service. Don't throw all your services on one page of the website. Build out separate pages that cater to that specific audience. So let's say fertilization, lawn care. If you do like tree trimming, I don't know. Let's say you do, mowing services. You want to create separate pages for those services. And then when you drive someone to the page, you want to make sure that your phone number is clear, that your form is available for them to fill out, and then it populates your email. You want to create the opportunity for that customer to contact you. So what the customer will do is they'll go to your website, they'll request lawn care services, they'll check a couple boxes, whether it's fertilization or whatever packages you have. Do you have packages already put together?
No, I don't have any packages put together.
You want to put together a package, because I would stress that the opportunity at hand is that you can get reoccurring revenue. Subscriptions.
I was going to talk to him about the growth, and then I was going to talk to him about, that's my next thing that I wanted to mention to him. So yeah.
So it's huge for the lawn care industry. Is people will sign up for those subscription services where throughout the year you seed, you fertilize, you cut the lawn, you give it the full hands-free white glove service for their lawn, and say that's $100 a month, and you have 50 subscribers. Now you're racking up some cash coming into the business just off your subscriptions. So that's something that you definitely want to put on the website. And what's even better is if you have the option for someone to subscribe right from the website. That would be huge right there. But the key is just remember these three things. You got to look great. You got to communicate the right way to the right type of customer, which means how are you communicating with, let's say someone that wants lawn care versus someone that wants fertilization? Or how are you communicating to someone that, has a busy lifestyle and doesn't have time to tend to their lawn, but they want to have a nice looking lawn? So you want to cater to that specific audience. You want to communicate with them in the right way based on the buyer's persona. And most importantly, you want to make sure that if you kind of look at it in 3 sections. So it's presentation, communication, and visibility. That's really what it comes down to.
So yeah, I wanted to mention, because currently you don't have a website. I'm guessing you're pretty new to that digital aspect. So you may be thinking website's going to be really expensive. It doesn't have to be. If you do some research, I'll give you some things to look up. You can look up like drag and drop website builder or online website builder. And there's a couple names that I'll send you that are big. This isn't a promotion or anything. Legitimately, these are, good websites to start up because they're easy, drag and drop. And it's a good starting website that looks good because it's so simple to make. And it's something like Squarespace, Webflow, Wix. Squarespace and Webflow, those are 2 great first website builders that you can get, and you can spend less than $100 to build a website.
Okay, sweet. And with those websites, are they
I disagree.
What, you say that again?
I'm sorry, with building those websites, are they like, how would you like initially, I don't really know how to explain this, like an adventure to, like, how does the client adventure to you? Like, is it just, would I use the keywords type that you were saying? Is that like would be the main thing?
So that's the third part that Andy was talking about. So it's about the visibility. So it's about how well you're seen. So when he was talking about the keywords, that's a form of search engine optimization. So that is organically a way to drive traffic to your site. Another way is having all of those social platforms have a link somewhere on those platforms that has your website. So those are all going to be the easiest way for you right now to drive traffic to your website. Having those social media platforms, having them being active, and having them all contain a link to your website that has the pricing, that has everything that someone would need to know about hiring you as their landscaper.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
But for the website platform piece, just know you're going to have your limitations with Squarespace and the other ones, in my own professional opinion.
Yeah, once you have enough to invest, you want to get
those are good as temporary placeholders. But then once you actually stack up enough cash and revenue to actually invest in a good quality, high performing option, then you want to swap things out. And
yeah.
Okay, so just use those as temporary?
Yeah, for now. But you definitely want to...
That's based on my professional opinion, based on trial and error of what I've seen with the easy do-it-yourself websites.
Yeah, but for now, to spend the least amount of money in order to get something out there, at least have something out there, those are the best options for you at the moment. And so now I kind of want to get into, your pricing structure, how, these projects, how each job is priced out, and how you have that structured. He was talking about the packages before, and I want to get into that because having the proper pricing structure and having packages and having stuff like that as a landscaping company, you can build more revenue based off of how you structure the payments processed and just stuff like that.
What's the name of your company?
AJ's Landscaping.
Do you specialize mainly in grass?
Mainly in mulch.
Okay, so the lawn mowing and lawn care is not a big piece of what you do?
It is a piece of it, but it's not like the biggest piece that we focus on.
What's the most profitable thing that you could do?
Mulching. Mulching's the most profitable for us so far.
Okay, but I remember when we spoke, you said that you need certain equipment in order to be as efficient as possible to get to that point.
Yeah, to get to a point to where I would be like able to get jobs done in 2 or 3 hours instead of 5, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What type of equipment were we talking about?
There's like heavy equipment like a dingo or a skid steer, or even like a mulch loader. Those like kind of like a big tube that just pressurizes and shoots mulch out.
Okay. All right. Just an estimate here. How much more efficient will this make you? Like 2 to 3 times more efficient?
Yeah, roughly 2 to 3 times. Yeah.
Nice. And then you could factor in, okay, what does that mean for you monetarily? That would justify the investment. And then you want to break down, okay, what's the return on investment if I'm 2 to 3 times more efficient and I can produce more within a certain amount of time? That's one thing you want to consider. What's the cost of this investment for one of them?
If I was to get a dingo or something, it'd be like 100,000 or 200,000, brand new.
Okay. And then I'm assuming I would definitely try to get that financed.
Oh yeah, especially earlier in the business where you're at now, financing would be the best option just to keep that cost low. But we got to make sure that the efficiency you gain out of it and the jobs you gain out of having that piece of equipment is going to be a wash, because it is going to be a costly amount.
Let's just say, okay, let's say you're at $90,000 right now, and say it made you, say we cut off 2/3 of it, so that you're let's just say, so you get $90,000, and you said 2 to 3 times. You said 2 to 3 times. So just say 3. So in that same amount of time and that same amount of effort, if you bought this equipment times 3, we'll round it off. We'll say 250,000. So with that equipment, in the first year, gross, you could bring in approximately $250,000 instead of $90,000
with the proper sales
roughly.
structure, as long as you're bringing in those deals.
Yeah, that would be a huge difference.
But remember, a lot of people make this mistake, is they go investing in facilitation, fulfillment, inventory, and they don't realize that you need to sell first, then fulfill. And some people kind of put the cart before the horse, vice versa. Just it's important to focus on generating leads, closing those deals, getting the business, getting the deposits, or however
Doing
you
a good
operate.
job. Yeah,
Doing a good job, building a good reputation, but sell first. I always tell people that, advertise, market, sell first.
It's good to have the issue to be too busy and not efficient, but still having a ton of jobs that you're doing and fixing those problems with the amount of deals you have coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have guys all the time that are in similar trades that are like bragging about all their equipment, but then they complain that they don't have as much business as they want.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, well yeah, this thing over here is $2 million. I'm like, sitting there idle, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you're focusing on sales first.
So I have another question. So what is your payment structure looking like? So let's say you have someone who's interested in hiring you. How does that work? How does that payment structure work? Do you, talk about the whole process, how you quote it out, stuff like that?
So first I would go I can do a virtual quote or I can do an in-person quote. Really just depending on if they can send me pictures of their mulch bed, their yard, if they can tell me the acreage and exactly how it is. I usually go off an estimate more than I do a quote off the first, like look at it. And I give them a rough estimate, as in it'll be around, like if it's mowing, I can do like $40 an acre. That would be for mowing. And then for mulching, I charge $100 per yard of mulch.
Okay. How much does it cost you to get that mulch?
Mulch is only like $28 for me.
Per yard?
Yeah, per yard.
Okay.
And you're charging what?
100.
100, okay.
So yeah, mulching definitely could be more profitable for sure. And also you don't need okay, that makes sense. With that machinery, you could do it quicker. So that makes a lot of sense.
Another thing to think of as a business is there's AJ's landscaping, there's Joe's landscaping, there's XYZ landscaping. What I'm trying to get at is you want to try to decommoditize yourself by finding what the client values the most and really highlight and accentuate and put focus on the client's value first. I'm not talking about making your prices the best. I'm talking about providing them, value add, having, let's say, extra tedious cleanup after you guys are done. You're not leaving a mess. Mentioning that to clients when you're in the quoting process and you actually meet a customer and you assess the land and all that stuff. Tell them that you don't leave a mess. Identify the things that your competition does that annoys the customer. Most importantly, identify what your competitors don't do for the customer. What can you do? What can you bring to the table that's not going to really impact your overhead? You know, something like a little bit of extra appreciation or going the extra mile, over delivering rather than, you know, over promising. Go the extra mile so you make the client feel warm and fuzzy and they'll never leave you. What I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of landscaping companies and you have to make sure you focus on the customer first and drive as much value as possible to separate yourself from the other people in your industry.
Yeah.
Of course.
So the last couple things I want to talk about is the packages and the promotions. So, you know, promotions obviously come after you have all the social media platforms set up for yourself. There's a couple promotion ideas that I want to share with you that might be really good, that would promote growth and retaining customers. But you want to talk about the packages a little bit so that he could, you know.
So you want to have a good, better, and best. So people love choices. And if your key, I guess you could say that the target revenue that you want to bring in, whatever that number is per client, you want to make that your middle package. Your beginner package, that's for the more, I guess you could say, budget conscious folks. You want to say, okay, so the beginner package comes with this. We mow your lawn twice a month for X amount a month, and that's it. Package, the better package, which is the middle package, which is the key one that you want to sell the most of, because that's what everyone gravitates towards. Statistically, when someone has options, they're going to go towards the middle one. You want to say, okay, we're going to mow your lawn once a week. We're going to fertilize and we're going to seed once or twice every season. Then the best package is going to be the hands-free deluxe, where they get everything: mulching, lawn mowing, fertilization at the highest level, whatever other services you can provide. So patch maintenance. So if somebody has a patch of a blank spot in their lawn, you'll go and you'll rake it, you'll put down the seed, you'll spot treat things, you'll take away weeds, all the I guess you could say the extras on the best package. And then you have an option on your website, so once they hit buy, it's reoccurring.
Yeah, so that was my other question. So whenever you get a job, is it a one-time thing, or do you try to get it to be almost like a subscription model? How do you do that?
I try to get, so for mulch, it's usually like 2 times a year, and it's also like opposite seasons. So usually you want to do it like spring and fall. And so I usually try to get people for 2 times a year.
Okay. So
I guess that gets kind of reoccurring customers, but not. And then with mowing, it would be more or less, I try to get everyone for the months. I try to get them for reoccurring customers, but it's usually a lot harder in mowing.
So you know your business better than anyone. So I'm familiar with the industry. I do know that hardscapes is a high ticket item. You got retaining walls, you have stone patios, walkways, brickwork. It's a high ticket item. You definitely have, if you want to get into that industry, obviously that's not reoccurring. Those are like one-time sales, or you can have repeat business from the same customers. But I think your cash cow for consistency when it comes to revenue is setting up subscriptions and packages that homeowners can buy. Keep it affordable, keep it reasonable, keep it realistic. But also on the side, aside from your subscriptions, okay, you'll have fulfillment for that all lined up. You'll run your calculations. You'll say, okay, I can apply this amount of my revenue towards the actual fulfillment of this. But on the flip side, you can go after and run ads for retaining walls and walkways and all the hardscape stuff.
All right.
So I'd strongly recommend just building out your digital landscape, your foundation first, which means your website, your social media, your ads, your Google ads, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, setting up the digital landscape
Foundation,
should
yeah.
be like something you do tonight, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely will.
Okay,
So
cool.
would that be like also like starting like Instagram, TikTok, like all the social medias, pretty much just starting and growing those platforms as well?
Yeah, so essentially tonight, what you're going to do is you're going to go and create those platforms, and they're all going to have, they're all going to be branded towards your business. And then every single day or every 2 days, or every other day, whatever it is, you're going to post something on there. Obviously, it's going to be slow, but you're going to get used to it, and you're going to get used to it, and you're going to learn more about it, and you're just going to continue to post. And you're going to essentially just, I'll give you some promotional ideas, if it's something along the lines of, let's say you have that, you have that Google page. Let's say, for my clients, if you give me a Google review, you'll get $25 off your next purchase or whatever it is, something along those lines, promotional stuff that you can throw on there, and then befores and afters, and just, photos of the work you've done, and just continue to add on to that. Don't stop doing that. Continue to add on. You can also ask some of your loyal customers to follow or to comment, whatever it is. So while you're building those, you're also going to build a very simple website. Once you've built that website, you have all those social platforms to direct to that website. So that's like the digital aspect that you should cover. On the sales side, you should have your part-time employee or whoever do some door-to-door sales with, if it's an employee, you should have them be on a commission-based, you can give them a small percentage of each sale, for them to bring on a customer. But you should do door-to-door sales for sure to get the name out there, to get some sales going. Once you get the digital aspect going, you should also see some people come through there, as long as you have good before and afters, good, good testimonials, stuff like that on your social media. So that's all, like, kind of think of it of building like a sales machine. You're building this sales machine, and you're starting off with the digital aspect and the door to door, and it's growing and it's growing. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, because you want to go grassroots, and you want to go bootstrap in the beginning and increase your revenue as high as possible. And I believe in the door hanger, going out there, grab the bull by the horns, and put those door hangers out in those neighborhoods. Maybe have before and afters on your phone to show people really quickly, or put the before and afters on the door hanger. Say, the door hanger could say, "Want your grass greener than your neighbor," or something like that.
Something like that. And also, what I'll do for you is, honestly, what I think we're going to do is I'd imagine you're taking down notes, and you're going to apply some of these things that we talked about today. In a month or so, we're going to check back in with you on the podcast, and we're going to see how things are going. Yeah. And what I'll do is, if you do decide, you do incorporate door-to-door sales or anything like that, I'll send you over some scripts that you can use, that you can give to someone, or you can use yourself, so that, they're really good scripts that you could use in order to sell someone that you're talking to.
Yeah, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course, yeah. And then, what else? Is there anything else you wanted to mention? Hey, do you have any questions?
For the winter months, what would be the best way to attract customers in those seasons? Because really, it's only like snow plowing and stuff like that. There's really not much, I want to say, like, work in the field. There's also a lot of like competitors in that area field. How would I try and top the competitors in that?
Incentivize someone to schedule or commit to you in the winter months. So say if you commit to my landscaping services that I'm going to start in March or April, if you commit to me in November and you make a deposit, you get 10% off. Like, run a promotion. Like, okay. Early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, what I would do, honestly, is you have some hotels in your area. You have some, stuff that is very customer focused, like hotels. You should go to those hotels and say, whenever there's a storm, you can count on me, and I will come and I'll shovel for you for this, for like an hourly rate, and you can send them like an invoice per storm. And then what you can do is you can hire some of your buddies or whatever, and you guys can all go to the hotel. I used to do that as a kid. Every single winter, I would be excited if there was a storm, because I knew, that night I'd be going out there from 8 o'clock to 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I'd be shoveling, and I'd make, however much money. But that's something that you could do. You can go to the hotels, in the fall, and you can say, hey, I'll do this every single storm, whatever, this and that. And that could be something you definitely could do, that, every storm you can, be bringing in some cash.
Sweet. Definitely sounds good, right? I'll definitely have to try that.
Yeah, no. So for winter time, I am not really sure, like, other than, snow removal, you can even do like snow removal off roofs, and stuff like that.
And aside from, I just take a look at how, when it comes to your brand as a whole, just try to think in your head, how am I how are people taking the experience that I'm giving them? Try to focus on how you're making the customer feel when you work with them. Don't just say, hey, I can mow your lawn. It's, think about the outcome. Having a green, beautiful lawn and a nice landscape, what does that do? That makes somebody happy to be home. That makes somebody want to come home and look at their beautiful,
best looking lawn in the neighborhood. Like that.
Yeah,
it's
but you're creating good emotions, good feelings when someone likes their environment. They're happy in their environment. So make sure when you're selling people, you're not just saying, yeah, I'll do this. No. I'm going to create a beautiful oasis, or whatever terminology you use, to create a warm, inviting, beautiful environment within your living quarters, or something like that.
Yeah.
Position it like that. Talk about the outcome, the feeling, the experience of your services. Don't just lead with the flat services.
Also,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, what you could do as well is, one thing that I preach a lot is just networking in your local area. So if you have like a fence company or a roofing company, or just, something that has to do with, home services, you should tell them that, hey, I do landscaping. If you ever work at someone's house and they're looking for something like this, and I would love the recommendation, and you do the same thing. Let's say there's a house, right, that you work at, and their roof is looking, bad. It's out of shape. Refer them to someone. And, they would do the same for you.
Okay.
Yeah, connect with local business owners in the home improvement industry, and I guarantee you'll gain some value out of it. 100%.
Yeah, like voice of mouth, like spreading the name of other companies and stuff.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like, if you let's say you like, or not even maybe not even a networking event, but let's say you see a guy in a truck, right? They're doing a roofing, or they're doing some masonry, or whatever it may be. Go ask them for advice. Mm-hmm. Just connect with them. Just give them your card. Say, hey, I'm trying to grow this business. I'd love to be acquainted with you. Maybe gain some value out of conversation. Sometimes anything. Just, network. Get your name out there.
Sweet. I'll definitely have to try that.
All right. Any more questions before we close it out?
Not at all.
And
Thank you guys.
we'd be happy to do a check-in episode to see how things are going. But if you need any advice, our door's open for you if you want us to give you some guidance.
100%. Yeah, we'll definitely be checking in. We'll make it another episode. But I appreciate you taking some time, and hopefully you gain some value out of this.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate all of this.
Of course.
Well, nice to meet you, and good luck with everything.
Nice to meet you, and thank you.
All right, talk soon.
See you guys.
All right, cool. So yeah, that I honestly want to make another episode. I'm sorry. I just looked down, and for some reason I thought you didn't start the recording because you kept hitting buttons, and I thought you stopped it.
No.
I just had a fucking panic attack. I was like, we just had a 40-minute call with this
Oh
kid.
my God.
No, but no, that's really cool. I maybe next time we won't make it as long, but I think that I want to have another episode where we follow up with him. Maybe he takes into consideration what we told him, and he, puts him within his business and starts growing a little bit. We turn him into a success story.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Real Business Roundtable. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained some value out of it. If you're a new business, if you're starting a landscaping business, if you're, whatever it is, hopefully you gain some value out of this, and hopefully you incorporate it into your business, and it helps you grow and it helps you prosper, because that's all we want. Thank you so much. Check us out on Instagram, like, subscribe, post notifications, clips, updates more. Peace out.